Hi, people. Um, Hi. My name's Will, and welcome to the Fryer. That is this very low budget setup. Well, actually, no. This I spend money on this. I think I spent a little too much money on this. I mean, this camera though, I spent like $50 on TikTok Shop. That if this is already going to be the first tangent. If you ever want to get like stuff or like start something, go. You just want to get stuff. Yeah, you need money to do that. Just go cheap. Just start cheap. It really doesn't matter. The barrier to entry that is like YouTube and TikTok or music, literally anything, it is you. It's so low now. You can do whatever you want, really. But this thing even like actually, I have like no light on this thing at all. Like I can't tell. This I'm using the pod track. Oh well, now it lights up. I'm using the pod track to record the audio for this, and I got a Rode mic, and I bought like a music um mic stand, which my thought was, hey, I could get this, and then I could use this for like when I go to my dad's house and I'm like sitting down talking to people and recording an episode. I can sit down and have this mic arm. Um, this thing, the center of gravity, the center of gravity is awful. If the mic arm were to actually extend out more, actually, I could just show it. Like this thing, if I were to, let's see, like here. Oh, it can't hold itself up. It really can't. I think it's just because I got a heavy microphone. But hey, if you ever want to start doing a podcast or anything, or like do YouTube videos and you want a good mic, get the pod mic. It's actually really good. Not the USB. Do not do the USB pod mic. Do the XLR, because then, which again, this is a little bit expensive, a little bit pricey, but get this. I want to say it's like $100 or so for the XLR, and then get the pod track, the Zoom pod track, the which one specifically? The PodTrack P4. Get that, and an Amazon Basic XLR cable. You can go on TikTok and buy a freaking camera, the one that I'm using right now, for like $50 or so. Um, Although this is fairly cheap. Like it's fairly plastic. I bought two more, so I'll have three, so I can have like a three kind of like camera setup when I do different things. But honestly, if I could go back and redo it, even though I just started, save up and get and buy some old iPhones, specifically the iPhone 12 Pro, just because you can then. I think that's actually that may be what this is. I don't know. This is my phone. I don't know, but with those phones, you can actually record in 4K 60 FPS, whereas on this camera, I'm only recording in 4K 30 FPS. The only reason why I didn't do that is because if I were to get three iPhones specifically for recording, it I would I'd pay over like $1,500 or so. That's assuming if they're $500 each, which is like not the case at all. Let's actually pull it up right now, how expensive these things are. So if I'm on Apple's website right now. If I were to go here, go to iPhone, the earliest model that they seem to be selling on the store itself is the iPhone SE. And that's got the home button. Damn. Um and it's starting at 429. Like that's just straight up if you want to buy it whole. But like that's pretty expensive for the SC. I'm not gonna lie. I did not know. But other than that, though, like the next model, the earliest model that they sell is the 14. Sorry, I'm about to be hit with Hurricane Helen. So like, I've been hearing knocking, but it's just the wind, and it doesn't freak me out. It just bothers me because I'm recording. Like I don't want to be interrupted. But the iPhone 14 straight up is $600. So if I really wanted to, I could buy 3 of those. And I'm not even going to think about the storage issue that would be, because I'd like to film like hour-long videos. $1,800 or so. I bought 3 of these cameras that I'm using right now for like 200 or so. The only downside is that to record at 4K 30 FPS, I only get like 44 minutes of footage, which is dumb. Very stupid. But I mean, it makes sense. Higher quality, less storage, so that way you can like get the best out of what you need. It just sucks though, because now I kind of have to limit myself for how long I can talk for, because I can talk for a while. But I even got like, I can't really read. I mean, I guess I can if I'm from this distance, but when I have like more stuff, hopefully for more videos, I have to use a stopwatch. So I could be like, oh, I'm at like 30 minutes. That's when I have to stop, which is stupid. I hate that. Hopefully in the future, instead of buying like the Sony, like I have cameras and like stuff that I want to buy in the future written on my whiteboard right here. Like instead of getting the Sony Alpha like 72 or something like that, that's 3,500. I can just get 3 iPhone 14s for 1,800 and get the same quality, you know? So yeah, that's kind of my dilemma at the moment. But you know, whatever. You work with what you got, and you listen to your dad when he's been telling you to record videos for the past 3 months. So yeah, but yeah, no, that's literally what that's literally what happened. My dad, he started he knew that I wanted to get into Twitch streaming and like make content and stuff, and do a podcast for years. Where he finally started getting me stuff, which I didn't really ask him to, but he started getting me stuff, and I'm really grateful for that. And I just kept thinking to myself that I needed to do it with someone else. And for people who know me, like personally, like y'all know how I am. Usually in order for me to be productive, I need to like do the activity with someone or be in the presence of someone, because then it helps me think and it makes me go into work mode, which is weird because I'm hanging out with people. It makes me go into work mode and my brain is like, how do I come up with something that could possibly impress the person that I'm with? And yeah, that sucks when you're trying to make content and you're by yourself. So yeah, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to start. This is what you got to do. You just got to start. Usually a lot of the time. I was thinking about I built like a whole, I didn't build a set. I literally just got a bunch of sticky notes and I did like a big F on my wall or on my closet doors. So that way I can like be like, oh, it's the Freyer. This is the set. And I'd sit down and talk. And I actually recorded 30 minutes of footage yesterday. And then I went to go and edit, and the quality was terrible. I mean, like not the mic quality, but the video quality, because I thought I'd be recording for way longer than I did. And I lowered the quality to like 2K 60th, like some weird quality that raised my recording time to like 2 hours or so. And so I recorded the entire video. I have this set up, and I was speaking some facts, and I went to go edit, and it was garbage. It looked like I was filming on a potato, and I hope that this doesn't look like I'm filming on a potato either. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the takeoff, you know what I mean? Honestly, if I really wanted to and I just wanted to go for like hours or so, I could just hook it up to my computer and I could run OBS. But then I don't know. I'd like the idea. The reason why I wanted these cameras and like this microphone set up with this thing is so I can pretty much record anywhere that I want. That's essentially why I wanted this whole thing. Like I would love to do episodes where I'm at the beach with people. Like we literally just get like one of those tents and we just go there. I'll probably do that in the winter actually, because like date of recording this is Thursday, September 26th at 6:14 in the afternoon. And yeah, I would love to go and do stuff outside and all that. I am. I'm talking to one of my friends about doing another podcast where it would be two people, me and him, and then um talking to some of my other friends that live in other states of the country. And we were talking about doing a podcast over like OBS or like over Discord because we met over Discord. And that could be a story for a different thing that we can tell on that podcast. But I'll probably link a join button in the description for the Discord. So if you're watching this and you're interested, or if you want to get into music, so the whole Discord, I'm not going to explain too deeply, so I can save that for like a different thing. But the whole point of the Discord was for, which not was, is, it still is, for people who aren't necessarily that skilled in like, let's say okay, the reason why I made it, I'm not good at producing music. I'd rather sing and write. That's just what I do, and I'm good at planning. So I would join the Discord, and then I would be like, hey, I'm not good at producing. Is there anyone who would want someone to sing on their tracks or something like that? And then I met some of my friends who were like, hell yes, I can produce, but I don't want to sing. And then it's that, like, that's how I became good friends with my producer, Prince Louis, which I don't like saying my producer, but he is like, he's not mine, but he produced a song for me, and we're planning on doing more. And then that's how I met my friend Jafari as well. I'll link his Spotify, and I'll link most of the stuff in the description. Probably, I don't know if I'll remember to, but and I'm supposed to be doing a podcast with them. But yeah, that's a different thing, and I'll talk about it on here when that eventually happens, because we've been doing trial and error on it because we literally live far away from each other, never met in person, and we've known each other for like 7 months. So I don't know. It's a thing that we'll explore on that thing if that ever happens. But yeah, no, I've always wanted to do YouTube or just content in general. People who actually know me, know my cursed channels from the past that I'll never bring up and I'll never link or anything. I know some of my friends are just gonna like sell me out and just post a link, because I haven't taken it down. Like, I think the last time I posted a video on that was like 8 years ago or something like that. But since this is the pilot, I guess a little bit more about me. I'm 18. I turned 19 in January. So like, let's see if it's the 9th. If this is the 9th month, in 4 to 5 months, I turned 19. And yeah, I mean, I do music. I'm trying to get really into music. I mean, I've been writing songs too ever since I was in 4th grade. And so I'm good at writing, but I'm not excellent. I'm trying to get better because some of my friends are into poetry, and they look at my stuff and they're like, ha, stereotypical. And I'm like, ha, you're right, I'm garbage. Which, I mean, like, and also to some of my friends who aren't into poetry, they look at my stuff and they're like, yo, this is pretty nice. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still garbage. So I don't know. That, I mean, like, music is something that I can definitely see myself doing for a while. Or honestly, I don't ever see myself stopping. The way that like I have ADHD, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm self-diagnosed and all that stuff. No, I legitimately I was diagnosed when I was like really young. When I was really young, they said to my mom I got ADD, which is basically just ADHD, but like not as bad. Well, we're not like, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing to have ADHD. It is an obstacle though, and I've definitely seen in my life. I've never gone on ADHD like medication because my mom was like, hold on, my friend. Hey, Dennis. Hey. Hey, can you hear me? I'm alone in this. Did you not? If he doesn't call back, I'll just cut that from the video. But But basically, what was I saying? Yeah, I have ADHD, so it's extremely common for me to jump from creative project to creative project. So, like, okay, ever since fourth grade was pretty much when things started, like the ball started rolling for me, when I was like, oh, I want to get into making something. I was a really creative kid. I've always had big ideas. And so I was like, yo, let me write stories. And so I started writing my own superhero stories for like comic books or just like script for movies and all that stuff, because I think around that time the first Avengers movie came out, and my dad took me to watch that in the theaters. So when I was in fourth grade, how old was I then? Let's see. If I was freshman, I was 14, and then I was 10 years old, and my dad took me to watch Avengers in the theater, which was awesome. That's the thing that me and my dad do. We always, usually whenever a Marvel movie comes out, I think the only Marvel movie we didn't see in theaters together was Thor: Love and Thunder, which that movie was absolute dog shit. So yeah, but basically that's like our thing. We've always gone, like my dad fueled the love for movies essentially for me. I'm a big movie guy. I watch a lot of movies. I don't watch classic movies. I say I'm a big movie guy, but I haven't watched too many movies because I'm spending all of my other time writing stories or writing scripts for movies and all that stuff. Just practicing, because I'm planning on like not majoring in film for college, but definitely gonna have it as a minor, so that way I can still have some like connection to it. But yeah, no, I've always been into writing movies or like writing stories. I want to make, like when I get older, I definitely have movies that I want to make that I've been planning ever since I was like 12 years old, that I'm still every now and then going back to. I'd love to make video games because I got excellent stories for those, comic books. I would actually like to sit down and write a book, in which I've tried. I've started writing a book about space stuff, and I got like 60 pages in, all single space too. I'm a monster. All single space too. And it just kind of fell off for me. And I think the reason why is because the story started changing. It started getting further away from its original take as I was writing it. And I just became uninterested with it. And same with some of my other stuff. I have other stories where I got like 50 pages in, and then I'm like, this isn't what I wanted. Like, this isn't it. And sometimes creative people will say, yo, that's actually the beautiful thing about art, is that while you're actively making it, it will change and it will turn into something different. And I could see that being an amazing thing. Not for me though. For me, if I'm going in with this idea, sure, I'll accept some change as I'm writing it, because I'm like, oh, maybe this idea is better, or maybe this idea sucked, and so I'm going to improve it essentially. No, if it completely just goes, if the book or the story is going up, then all of a sudden it takes like a 90-degree right, or like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. And that happens sometimes because I get to a point in the story where I'm like, what the hell is this? Why is this going this way? And I lose myself in the writing. I lose all sense of time and reality, and I get into the writing, and I get to a point where I'm like, this isn't what I originally wanted it to be in the first place, and the story is completely going another way. And that may just be because I would throw myself at it. So I would throw myself so far to the point to where everything else is blocked out, and I'm only hyper fixating on this story. And I get so engulfed in it that I never take a second to step back and really look at it and assess, what is this? Am I following the plan? Could this not be following the plan but still become something good? And I also constantly want feedback from people where I'm actively making the story, because then it helps me know what the consumer would want and what they think, and if I need to fix something, which is like, obviously, like, you got to do that. But Hollywood doesn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that just yet. I'll probably wait and do an episode with my dad to talk about some of that shit, just because, like, yeah. But I mean, I don't really know. I think what I would like for the future for this to be is I would love to like bring guests on, not just like my friends. And it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna love recording videos with my friends. I've already talked to some that live in different cities, even, where I'm just gonna drive there and we'll record an episode like in their apartment or something, and we'll just hang out and talk, and then I'll post those. And yeah, that's gonna be extremely fun. But I would love to actually interview celebrities or influencers, just people who are known. Like let's say my dream, I have 5 dream interviews. It would be one, John Bellion, simply because the music is insane. I love it. I've been listening to him ever since 2018, and he like at the time of recording, he just announced that he's going to be putting out music, I think Friday, or is what day is today? Today's Thursday. He announced on his Instagram that he will be posting music. When does this come out? Yeah, it says after 6 years, after a 6-year wait, John Bellion's recording contract has been reversed, freeing him to make music for himself again. So I didn't know the logistics of it at the time. I thought the logistics are just what it was. Why is this not telling me what date this comes out? It's not telling me what the date of the song. But I always thought with John Bellion, the idea was that like he got to a point where he noticed he was getting too famous, and he was like, no, I don't want to do that, and stepped back, and then became a producer and like worked with the Joe Bros, with BTS, with a whole bunch of other talented artists. I thought that was the issue. I did not know his contract legitimately forbade him from making music for 6 years. So yeah, I did not know that. But I would love to have him on an episode and have like a good like hour half talk. Just because I'd run it like a Joe Rogan podcast where it's like a conversation, and I let them obviously introduce new topics and we go on new tangents. But I kind of want, I'll have a list of questions and a list of things that I'd like to talk about, but still have it be that kind of free flowing thing. Another one would probably have to be Ryan Reynolds. We all know why. Another one, I'm not even going to explain. Yeah, no, I mean, what can you not want? Like, how could you not want him on an episode? I don't know. I think that'd be awesome. And then I'd probably want, and this may sound, actually no, I don't want to say that. I was about to make a joke, but probably Jenna Ortega, simply because I'm intrigued by how popular she just blew up. It's the same thing with Chappell Roan and Sabrina Carpenter as well. All of a sudden, they just go from like 2 million to 50 million. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I think Jenna Ortega has like 2 or 3 million followers on Instagram. But I would love to interview her simply because I find it funny when I watch Disney child stars try to leave that era, and it either goes Jake Paul or Jenna Ortega. You know what I mean? Well, actually, no. And you got the girl from Good Luck Charlie, the older sister, where I think she just quit acting and went and got a degree, which, I mean, like, yeah, good for her. You know what I mean? But I think it would just be fascinating to see from Jenna Ortega's perspective of how fame kind of influenced her life, in the sense of like, what did it change? What was her thoughts on she just like blowing up randomly and all that stuff, and working to where she is now. And I also say that just because I just watched Beetlejuice, which was an amazing. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great sequel to the first one. But yeah, no, I think she would definitely be an interesting person, or they. I don't know the pronouns. I'm just gonna say they, just for safety. Because I don't want to disrespect anyone. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't want that backlash. So I'll just say they, out of respect or whatever. But I don't know if they. If they would. Well, wait, why did I just say that? I would love to see. I don't know. I would love to see her perspective and ask her questions about all that stuff. Who else? Probably Ella Pernell. Probably her as well because of Fallout. I really liked the Fallout show. I thought that was awesome. And I honestly hadn't seen her in much other stuff before that. I think the only other thing that she did, well, no, I mean, maybe she had like lesser roles, but I think another thing that she did was that she voice acted for Arcane, which I haven't watched yet. I need to. I've been watching a lot of Studio Ghibli movies recently. So, but I would love to interview her and see what it was like from going from Fallout or like going from the roles before to Fallout because she was on screen and then that show was everywhere. It was a real if you haven't watched Fallout and you know that it's based off a game, I didn't know anything about the game at all before watching that show. Watch the show. It's extremely friendly to people who don't know anything about the game at all, and it's also just a really good show. It was actually really good. It was well written. The acting was great in it. I actually really like Ella Pernell's character because like some of the most heinous shit will go down and she'll be like, "Okie dokie," and just move on as if nothing happens, which I find that hilarious. I find it funny whenever crazy shit goes down in movies and people are like, okay, and like just what else? What else? And then another interview that I would love to do would be, who would the fifth one be? Who would the fifth greatest interview be? I don't want to go with like comedian. I don't want to do that because that's very. I mean, like comedians, they always go on podcasts. I want to interview celebrities or a YouTube phenomenon such as probably Jacksepticeye. I would love to interview Jacksepticeye. I've been watching his stuff ever since I was in like fifth or sixth grade, and whenever crazy shit would go down in my life, my comfort thing would either be actually not either. It would be to watch Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, or PewDiePie. Those were my comfort shows. I didn't have a comfort show per se. My comfort content was their videos, and especially during my senior year, I would love to come home because it was like obviously school drama and all that stuff, right? I would love to come home and then I would just watch Jacksepticeye or Markiplier or PewDiePie or Cinnamon Toast Ken as well, just to kind of come home and leave reality and just sit down and enjoy some good content, which is always a beautiful thing. And I if I ever had the chance to, I would love to say thank you because that stuff really did get me through a lot of hard times in my life. And I feel connected to them. This is the parasocial thing. Anyway, I've been watching them for so long that I feel like I'm their friend, which is weird. You know, if I ever meet them in person, I'm probably going to be like, yo, what's up? Be super friendly. And they're going to be like, I have no idea who the hell you are. And I just think I would love to say thank you. And they probably won't know the impact that they had in my life because they also were kind of like, that's what got me into wanting to do YouTube as well. And so I would love to say thank you. And I actually have something that I may end the podcast on. Hold on. So for those of you who don't know, way back in the day, I honestly don't know if he's still promoting this because he's got all of his new stuff out, like his comic books and his coffee. But back in the day, around 2018, 2019, Jacksepticeye made a clothing brand called like the PMA cult, which is positive mental attitude, and then cult. I don't know why he put the cult at there. Is there anything on the back? I don't think so. But I've had this ever since I was in 7th or 8th grade, and I just remember. I remember my grandma. She was like, "Hey, what do you want for Christmas?" And I was just like, "I'd like this like jacket. I'd like this thing for the PMA," because I was just like, "Oh, Jacksepticeye. I love Jacksepticeye," and I remember I never thought I'd actually get it, and I remember on Christmas morning, I opened the box and I read PMA, and I got up and I immediately hugged my grandma, and I was just so happy that I got it, because it was just such a big thing to me. Like my dad, he grew up with like sports and all that stuff, and it's like, yeah, I grew up playing sports, but I don't watch sports. I don't watch football. Every now and then I'll watch soccer. or football. Or I really don't watch anything. I really don't. The only things I do watch are YouTube and some shows and movies, but I don't watch live sports. I don't watch racing or any of that. And so it's like my dad or my parents didn't quite understand how much this kind of meant to me, but it really does. I've made sure that I never let this thing get cut. I'll probably never throw it away. I always wash it nice. It's in great condition still. I still wear it to this day when it gets cold, or if it gets cold in my room. I would love to have the chance to thank these people for that contribution that they had in my life. Just because, yeah, I mean, like growing up, kids are awful. You're always going to have loads of self-doubt, and life's always going to seem awful even at a young age. For some reason, it always does. And it just going home after school and like doing homework and just watching your favorite YouTubers is something that I know my parents will never understand. And it's something that will be held deep in my heart until I die. Because literally growing up, I did not watch cable. I watched YouTube. And it's such a pivotal thing. And I love the idea that now I'm able to witness this kind of cultural or generational gap, because it's like my generation, I know not all of my friends were as hooked on YouTube as I was, but I know that most people my age, their cable was YouTube. And it was just random ass people who were sitting in their home office who decided to record a Minecraft video. And that video has been engraved in my mind ever since I was like 14 years old, or even like 13 years old. You know what I mean? Like, I remember coming home and watching PewDiePie do his first Minecraft survival series. Not like way 10 years ago. I mean like 2018, when he had like the Swedish flag and all that stuff. And I'm trying to remember what else. I remember watching live Jacksepticeye do Detroit Become Human and Death Stranding, which I know that's probably like a 3-year gap, because I think Detroit Become Human he posted in 2017. You can correct me if I'm wrong, or 2018. And then I remember being in COVID, in quarantine, and things were going awful for me. And I would go on YouTube and I see Jacksepticeye's uploading videos, and it was Death Stranding, and I would just sit there and I'd watch the entire video with him, or I'd basically sit through the entire thing with him. And it's just, I know that I'm not personal with them at all, but yet it's such a pivotal moment in my life where it feels like I'm really good friends with them. And it's the weird parasocial stuff. I know it's like, I think it's one thing. Sorry, I drank soda, so now I got burps. But I know it's one thing to be like, yo, I'm your friend. Like if I ever meet Jacksepticeye, I'm never gonna be like, I know you. No, I'm gonna be like, hey, it's nice to meet you. You know what I mean? So it's one thing to acknowledge the parasocial relationship and the idea of like, I know you, I've been watching you for years, versus people who are like convinced that they know them and they will like stalk them. That's like a different thing. And I find it awful that people do that. And it's one thing because it's like, I feel bad for the celebrity or the influencer who kind of has to deal with that idea. But I also feel bad for the person who's like genuinely thinks that they know them, because that's their reality. And then they meet them and the person's freaked out. And then they're just kind of like, what the hell? What the hell is this? This is bullshit. And that's just kind of how it happens. Oh no. If I were to, yeah, I'll end on that note, but I would love to continue doing these videos. I don't know how often I'm going to post these videos or how long they'll eventually get. I know this one's running, the recording is over 30 minutes. I don't know if the actual video will be like that. We'll let the Adobe AI editor, we'll let that decide. But yeah, no, I would love to continue doing these videos and at least get some content out and actually start doing stuff. Cause yeah, I got a lot of plans that I would love to implement and just do, and we'll see how they look. Those are topics for other things and all and other videos. But yeah, no, that's probably, yeah, this is probably the end of the first pilot episode of the podcast. But yeah, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Check out some of the links and stuff that I put in the description. I don't know what I'll do. I honestly already forgot. But yeah, no. I live stream on Twitch every now and then. I need to get better about getting into a schedule on it. I'll just live stream games, pretty much. Or maybe there'll be times if this ever gets anywhere where I'll just sit there and I'll just chat with chat. I'll hang out and talk with chat. I don't know. But yeah, no. I definitely hope this goes somewhere. And even if it doesn't, I'm having fun while I'm doing it. Because this was actually a lot of fun to just stand here and talk. So, all right. Bye-bye.